Alright, you guys. Here I am. I'm back. And this time, it's the third Captain America movie, Captain America Civil War. Again, why am I even telling you guys this? You already know this. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I actually had to kinda lie my way into watching this movie when it came out. Like, it's a bit of a long story, but well, this movie came out, and my mom, who owns the car, by the way, didn't want to take me there, and I was still living with my parents, as you could probably tell. And she wanted me to have a haircut for many, many months. So I kind of convinced her that I go get my haircut if she took me there. So I went to get my haircut. I convinced her that I'll come back home on my own. I'll catch a bus. And then I secretly got my father to take me to the theater, and I watched Captain America Civil War, and I loved it, and I came back home. And of course, she complained that the barber didn't really cut my hair just right, and I didn't really give a damn, because I was more concerned about the movie. So yeah, I'm a rebel. Deal with it. So, Captain America Civil War, starring an ensemble of Avengers, directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, again, who directed the second Captain America, Winter Soldier, and who are currently putting the final finishing touches on, Avengers Infinity War, and they're about to direct Avengers 4, whatever that's gonna be titled. So, let's fight. I love this movie. And, hold on. Now, there was a bit of a delay there. 1991! In case they didn't make it big enough. I think the Russo brothers' mission with these Marvel movies was, they even said it, they were going to honest trailer proof the movie, to make sure that the honest trailer guys wouldn't be able to point out the weaknesses of any of these movies. And for the most part, it kind of worked. At least in The Winter Soldier. I almost forgot to bring Shieldy to this commentary. But then I remembered, you can't have a Captain America movie without Shieldy, so it was kind of a last minute thing. Longing, Rusted, 17, Daybreak, Furnace, 9, Benin, Homecoming, 1, Freight Car. And that, kids, is how brainwashing works. By the way, remember this soldier guy, because he comes back later during the movie. By the way, did you notice how one of those words they used was homecoming? Because there was a movie came out about a year after this called Spider-Man Homecoming. Coincidence? I think not. I love this movie because it shows you something that was hinted in the first movie, but you never really got to see it in the previous movie, which is, you know, Bucky taking out some hits as the Winter Soldier. There's that logo again. By the way, the last time we'll ever see this logo on any of the MCU movies. And I love the use of the new score on the logo. Logos! Again, being super obvious. Present day! I love Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's my favorite MCU actress right after Hayley Atwell.
Quiet Street. It's a good target. It's an ATM in the south corner. Cameras.
Man, it shows you some of the stuff I love about Avengers Age of Ultron, which is the Avengers avenging, you know, going on secret missions.
You guys know I can move things with my mind, right? Looking over your shoulder needs to become second nature.
Anybody ever tell you you're a little paranoid?
A little.
Face. Why? Did you hear something?
Eyes on target, folks.
Because, you know, in the comments, basically, you get a different Avengers mission every month. And then every couple of years, there's this big, giant event, like an Age of Ultron or an Infinity Gauntlet something, which calls for all the Avengers to come together. And I love these, you know, little side missions. It shows how the Avengers act. By the way, this drone is Red Wing. Obviously a reference to Sam Wilson's pet in the comics called Red Wing. That's basically how the Falcon started. That's how him and Cap met each other. And he's also, by the way, a founding member of the Pet Avengers. Yes, that's a thing. Whee! That, you know, bump on the road clearly disappeared just now. I guess, you know, dropping a garbage truck on it will do that. There he is! I love that they very clearly continued the storyline from the Winter Soldier, where Brock Rumlow basically became fully scarred. And that's how he became Crossbones, which is his comic book counterpart. Whee! And I love this scene. Just look at this. Captain America is the best fighter ever. Like, even Batman said that once. And you know, when Batman says something, you damn well believe it. Blah. Oh no, you don't? Whee! 4. Slowly taking them out one by one.
Rumlow's on the 3rd floor. Wanda, just like we practiced.
What about the
I
gas?
love that he's actually using the wings as shields. Whee! Oh boy. Yep. By the way, I love this. Never mind.
Pack it up.
Biohazard. Oh my goodness! Whoever says Captain America doesn't know how to fight is an idiot. Zoosh! Zoosh! Hey, we're the Avengers! Let's go murder some people! Dead! Dead! Ha 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 ha! We're the good guys! That was a pretty brilliant plan. No, he looks exactly like the comic books.
Rumlow has a biological weapon.
I'm on it.
So she was their backup or something? Genius! No, you don't. You know, there's a report I heard that the Russo brothers actually hired the John Wick directors to help them with the fight choreography in this movie, which is why the fight choreography looks so awesome. Ah! Yeah. Whee! Oh, hi, boys. Grenades don't take that long to detonate. Yeesh. Why? Whoa! Yeah, he's good. He can survive that. I love the new rendition of this costume. It's a little less bright, and they removed all the red around the star. This really is the definitive Captain America costume.
Lose the truck. Where are you supposed to be? I'm not. I've got 4. They're splitting up.
How does he even recognize those guys?
I got the 2 on the left.
The Avengers work together as a team beautifully in these movies. In Age of Ultron and this.
This right here. It's a shell game now. One of them has the payload.
Yeah. That's not gonna destroy the shield.
There you are, you son of a bitch.
And he's still angry.
I've been waiting for that.
And again, Crossbones is such a great villain because he's not one of those, you know, I'm evil, I want to destroy the world. He's calling out Captain America because of what he did to his face. That's the most basic instinct of all. Revenge. It's not, you know, I'm evil so I gotta be evil and do evil stuff. He's like, no man, you dropped a building on my face, I'm gonna kill you. Simple as that. Nah, you're no match for her. Ooh, And she's still doing that, apparently. Even after whatever many movies. And she's always using her speed and nimbleness to her advantage. I said drop it! Smooth move.
Payload secure. Thanks, Sam.
Don't thank me.
I'm not thinking that thing.
His name is Redwing. You person.
And I love that they're actually throwing a little bit of humor into this action scene. It's great action with a tinge of humor so it doesn't feel all, you know, stale. That's what these Marvel movies do so well. The balance between the humorous stuff, the dramatic stuff, the action stuff, all of it. Oosh! Whee! I might have to go and take off your helmet. Yeesh. Yeah, you're still Frank Grillo. What did you say? And he knows because he's worked in Hydra. No! That's horrible. He gets to burn slowly before he dies. That's a horrible way to go. And, you know, Wanda's kind of new at this stuff, so she's very inexperienced. That's why this happened.
Fire and rescue. On the south side of the building. We gotta get up there.
I have a friend who keeps telling me, oh, the acting in those Avengers movies is crap. Look at this! Have you seen Elizabeth Olsen's face? How do you live with yourself saying that? Seriously.
There's a homeless person in the tower.
Man, John Slattery's been in a lot of movies, right? Marvel movies right now.
Really wish for
3 or 4, I think.
Do me a favor.
And that
Tell her to burn the house down.
the little
So it's Monday.
de-aging technology is just just getting better and better.
Right up to make a quick stop at the Pentagon. Right? Don't worry.
Because, you know, Robert Downey Jr. has been in movies
You know, this is
for a very long time, so they had a lot of references to pull. However, once he gets closer to the camera, you kind of start to see the fakeness of it. Otherwise, I mean, it was brilliant. I love this scene.
I love you, Dan. And I know you did the best.
And it's also a great setup for later. What happens later in the movie? But still, I mean, it's still a bit heartbreaking. Yep, the
That's how I wish you were.
CG stuff kind of looks fake. Yeah.
Binarily augmented retro framing, or BARF.
Barf.
Hijacking the hippocampus to clear traumatic memories.
Wish I had that kind of technology. It kind of looks useful
They never made it to the airport
for a lot of stuff.
for all the things I did to avoid processing my grief. Plus $611 million for my little therapeutic experiment. No one in their right mind would
It's like a holodeck.
help me out. What's the MIT mission statement?
Meat.
To generate, disseminate, and preserve knowledge. And work with others to bring it to bear on the world's great challenges. Well, you are the others. And quite a set of challenges this year.
He's got a teleprompter just holographing its way over there.
Also, I'd rather you were. As of this moment, every student has been made an equal recipient of the inaugural September Foundation grant. As in, all of your projects have just been approved and funded.
P. Imagine that.
Just reset taxes. Reclaim the future. Starting now.
So this is what Tony Stark is doing these days. You know, after his Ultron debacle. Yeah.
Go break snakes.
Great improvisation, by the way. That, I believe, is one of the actors from Community, the show that the Russo brothers worked on before they got the gig of directing the Captain America movies.
Restrooms this way, yeah?
I'm so sorry about the teleprompter. I didn't know Miss Potts had canceled. They didn't have time to fix it.
Kind of wonder what was happening between those two guys, because
Be right back.
when she shows up again in Spider-Man Homecoming, they seem to have worked out their problems. Spoilers, by the way. Now that, I believe, is Alfre Woodard, who also played Mariah Dillard in Luke Cage. And she's going to be voicing Sarabi in the upcoming Lion King movie. Just saying.
They say there's a correlation between generosity and guilt.
Who are you?
I'm right where I want to be.
She's good at that.
I work in the State Department.
Ah.
Human resources. I thought it's boring. But it enabled me to raise a son.
And this
Of what he grew up to be.
scene,
His name was Charlie Spencer.
just a gun punch
You learned
to the heart.
in Sokovia. Not that that matters. At least to you. You think you fight for us? You just fight for yourself. Who's going to avenge my son Stark? He's dead. And I blame you.
You know, it kind of shows you the harsh reality of superheroes in a better way than the DCEU.
11 Wakandans were among those killed during a confrontation
Wakandans?
between the Avengers and a group of mercenaries in Lagos, Nigeria last month. The traditionally reclusive Wakandans were on an outreach
At least we know where Wakanda is.
when the attack occurred.
T'Chaka! King T'Chaka! By the way, that scene in the elevator was kind of almost a page-to-screen adaptation of a scene from the Civil War comic book. Of course, there was a different set of circumstances when, in the comic books, a bunch of young superheroes destroyed a school, and the mother of one of the children kind of spat at Tony Stark's face. Bit of a long story, but for the most part, it was a pretty faithful adaptation.
You're being very specific.
I should have clapped that bomb. That's the problem.
They left their living quarters.
All of a sudden, I was a 16-year-old kid in the room.
And the relationship between the team members, it's literally like the Avengers exist.
Try to save as many people as we can. Sometimes it doesn't everybody. But if we can't find a way to live with that, next time, maybe nobody gets saved.
Zoom.
Talk about this.
So clearly they're doing some stuff together.
Captain Rogers wished to know when this stuff is like. Thank you.
And what a great way to reintroduce this character into the story.
Hold a guess. You know who it is? The Secretary of State.
And, you know, to show off some of his powers. Because of the fight later on.
I had a heart attack. I dropped.
And guess who just showed back up again?
That was the best round of my life because
Thaddeus Ross from
surgery and triple bypass.
the Incredible Hulk movie. It's a great way to reuse this character. They could have just created a completely original character, but, you know, they had him. He I believe he was still under contract, so why not?
You have fought for us, protected us, risked your lives. But while a great many people see you as heroes, there are some who would prefer the word
Vigilante.
And what word would you use, Mr. Secretary?
How about dangerous? What would you call
And we know he doesn't like superheroes because he's seen the Hulk up front several times.
routinely ignore sovereign borders and inflict their will wherever they choose, and who, frankly, seem unconcerned about what they leave behind.
That's one way of looking at it.
New York.
So I love this because it looks like someone. It looks like someone actually shot these on an iPhone or something. You know, it looks real. Like it really actually happened. Yeesh. Major point.
For the past 4 years, you've operated with unlimited power and no supervision. That's an arrangement the governments of the world can no longer tolerate.
How many years have they been avenging?
Sokovia Accord,
That's a huge thing.
approved by 117 countries, it states that the Avengers shall no longer be a private organization. Instead, they'll operate under the supervision of a United Nations panel only when and if that panel deems it necessary.
The Avengers were formed to make the world a safer place.
You can't control superheroes.
Tell me, Captain, do you know where Thor and Banner are right now?
In space, somewhere.
Just a couple of 30 megaton nukes, but there'd be consequences. Compromise, reassurance. That's how the world works. Believe me, this is the middle ground.
So, there are
3 days from now, the UN meets in Vienna to ratify the accords. Talk it over.
And if we come to a decision you don't like,
Then you retire.
Yeah. This Cleveland. This is the soldier from before. You know, from the brainwashing stuff. It looks pretty similar. I think it's the same actor with, you know, the de-aging or the up-aging technology or whatever.
Maybe we should take care of it ourselves. If you want to call the cops, that's okay too, I guess.
No. No cops.
There shall be no cops. Apparently he doesn't like cops that much. Yeah, he came prepared. A lot of people like to knock Zemo for being a bad villain. You know, saying that there's no possible way he could have known any of the things he knew, or at the very least, you know, predict what the Avengers are going to do. I'd say, well, I kind of believe that, and I think, you know, that's the mark of a great villain, when he manages to outthink the heroes at every possible turn.
16, 1991. Who are you? My name is Zemo.
My name is Zemo.
I will repeat my question. Mission report.
December 16,
16.
1991.
How did you find me?
When S.H.I.E.L.D. fell, Black Widow released Hydra files to the public. Millions of pages.
That happened in the last movie. Last Captain America movie.
Deciphered. But I have experience and patience. A man can do anything if he has those.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? Mission report.
December 16, 1991.
Go
Clearly he's looking for that
hell.
very intensely.
Hydra deserves its place on the ash heap, so your death would not bother me. But I'd have to use this book and other bloodier methods to find what I need. I don't look forward to that. You'd only be dying for your pride.
He's got a point. Well, he stayed loyal to the very last moment. Now, clearly his nose is still sticking out, so he shouldn't be affected. And now suddenly it's completely out of water. And he can bend forward a little bit.
One more than you had. So let's say we agree to this thing. How long is it going to be before
117, Sam, and you're just like, no, it's cool. We got
How
it.
long are you going to play both sides?
I have an equation.
Oh,
Oh boy.
oh, this will clear it up.
Is Cap actually reading all that?
The number of known enhanced persons has grown exponentially, and during the same period, the number of potentially world-ending events has risen at a commensurate rate.
I love his eyes.
I'm saying
The,
that may be a causality.
and the workings of
Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict.
That's always been the one of the reasons Batman has so many enemies.
Oversight.
The very existence of Batman
Oversight
bred
is not an idea.
the existence of supervillains in Gotham.
You're being uncharacteristically non-hypervocal.
He's already made up his mind. Why are you known so long? Actually, I'm nursing an electromagnetic headache. That's what's going on, Cap. Just pain. Discomfort. Who's putting coffee grounds in the disposal? Am I running a bed and breakfast for the biker gang?
I mean, again, it shows the Avengers are living together and, you know, they're doing some stuff together. I love that.
Great.
And they don't build up to it, they just throw it in and move on.
Low-level gig, intel plan for fall.
I work at Intel.
Miles on his soul. Before he carved it behind the desk. See the world. Maybe be of service. Charlie didn't want to go to Vegas or Fort Lauderdale, which is what I would do. He didn't go to Paris or Amsterdam. Sounds fun. He decided to spend his summer building sustainable housing for the poor. Guess what? Sokovia. He wanted to make a difference, I suppose. I mean, we won't know because we dropped a building on him while we were kicking ass.
You know, it wasn't your fault, Tony. Well, technically it was. You're the dumbass that created Ultron, but still.
We need to be put in check, whatever form that takes on game. If we can't accept limitations, work boundaryless, we're no better than the bad guys. Tony, if someone dies on your watch, you don't give up. Who's ever given up? We are. We're not taking responsibility for our actions. This document just shifts the blame.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that is dangerously arrogant. This is the United Nations we're talking about. It's not.
So what?
Council, it's not SHIELD. It's not Hydra.
No, but it's run by people with agendas. And agendas.
Yes! Exactly!
Why aren't here when I realized my weapons are capable of in the wrong hands? You shut it down, stop manufacturing. You chose to do that. If we sign this, we surrender our right.
Yes!
But it's panels.
I'm on Team Cap, by the way.
What if there's somewhere we
I've
can
always been.
go and they don't let
In the movies and in the comic books.
Safety's hands are still our own, and we don't do this now. It's gonna be done to us later. That's the fact. That won't be pretty.
You're saying they'll come for me.
We would protect you.
Maybe Tony's right.
We'll protect them.
We have one hand on the wheel, we can still steer. Take it off.
Aren't you the same woman who told the government to kiss her ass a few years ago?
I'm just.
Why is she siding with Tony all of a sudden?
We've made some very public mistakes. We need to win their trust back.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Did I mishear you or did you agree? No, give it a try.
Oh, and then there's this. She is gone in her sleep. And you instantly know what's going on. In case you didn't. London! Makes sense, he'd be one of the people carrying the coffin. Technically he can carry it all by himself, but, you know, ceremony and stuff. Yeah, I forgot. Her real name is actually Margaret. Don't know where she got the name Peggy. Whoopsie, surprise, surprise.
Margaret Carter was mentioned by.
How is she? How come her aunt is British but she's American? Maybe she got married and lived in America, I suppose. And yeah, we kind of saw that in The Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, I forgot.
There's a lot to live up to, which is why I never
You don't say.
Once how she managed to master diplomacy and espionage in a time when no one wanted to see a woman succeed at either.
And she had a very interesting TV show.
Where you can't
I was gonna say successful, but then I remembered that no, it wasn't as successful as a lot of people wanted it to be.
even if the whole world
So
is
they
telling
canceled
you
it.
to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree, look them in the eye and say no. You move.
I agree with that philosophy wholeheartedly.
When I came out of the ice, I thought everyone I had known was gone. When I found out she was alive, it was just like never.
She had you back too.
Hello, son.
Tony, Rudy, Vision.
Clint?
Since he's retired.
Wanda?
TBD.
Goodbye.
Off to Vienna for the signing of the Accords. There's plenty of room on the jet. Just because it's the path of least resistance doesn't mean it's the wrong path. Staying together is more important than how we stay together.
What are we gonna have to do it?
You think? I'd rather have 10 friends I love than 200 friends I hate.
I know.
Well, what are you doing here?
I didn't want you to be alone.
You know, they're actually very good friends, and you've seen that in Vienna! In The Winter Soldier. Sorry, I came out a bit racist right there. And there he is! Prince T'Challa! Chadwick Boseman. I mean, you look at this guy, and I mean, damn, that's a Black Panther right there. He's so good in this movie and in Black Panther. And I'm sure he's gonna do a wonderful, wonderful job in Infinity War. Which I'm seeing tomorrow, by the way. So excited. Sorry.
2 people in a room can get more done than 100, unless you need to move a piano. Baba, yeah,
Baba.
is love.
Ms. Romano.
Please allow me to apologize for what happened in Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to all this.
So Wakandans can just walk around freely?
Yes, so I.
Well, technically they were still in Africa, so I don't know.
That is the future calling.
I love it that this movie, before the Black Panther movie happened. By the way, that's a real language they're using. It's Kosa or something, I think. And that's John Connie, the actor playing King T'Chaka. That's his home language. And he, by the way, he's actually voicing Rafiki in the upcoming The Lion King movie. And I love that this movie is also before the Black Panther movie comes out, it puts a very important emphasis on the political side of Black Panther, because Black Panther is a representative of his own country in the comics. He does defend his country a lot politically. Look at this, look at this. Man, that's a Panther jump! And damn. No, he wasn't hit that bad because of the heart-shaped herb that he took a while ago, because he was Black Panther for a few years before this movie came out. But he wasn't king. That's what the Black Panther movie was about. Mostly.
My first Bible story.
Mm.
Very practical.
That's stylish.
CIA has been stationed over here now.
Berlin. Joint terrorism task force.
Right. Sounds fun.
I know, right?
I've been meaning to ask you, when you were spying on me from across the hall,
You mean when I was doing my job?
did Peggy know?
She kept so many secrets. I didn't know where to have them from you.
And in the midst of all the humor, the drama, the action, we also managed to throw in a little bit of romance. You know, just enough.
A bomb hidden in a news van
Who's
wrecked
coordinating?
the UN building in Vienna. More than 70 people have been injured. At least 12 are dead, including Wakanda's King T'Chaka. Officials have released
All hell's about to break loose.
identified as James Buchanan Barnes.
What?
The infamous Hydra agent making numerous acts of terrorism and political assassinations.
I have to go to work.
Anyone with information
See if we can get my good friend to hurry this up. Need the whole team here in 2 hours and it's not working.
Yeesh. I'm gonna shut up now because I really want you guys to hear what T'Challa has to say. Vibranium ring.
It's more of a stepping off point. You reach out with both ends and bust in segment. It lead you into the green belt where you can run forever.
Sounds very peaceful.
My father thought so. I am not my father.
Sean, task force will decide who brings it Barnes.
Don't bother Miss Romanov. I'll kill him myself.
What he just said about, you know, Boston segment, that's all from the Black Panther mythology in the comics. Excuse me. And I just noticed there was a little hint of the Black Panther's score
I know how much
while he was talking.
Stay home. You'll only make this worse for all of us. Please.
Too late.
You saying you arrest me?
No. Someone will. If you interfere, that's not work now.
He's this far gone now. I should be the one to bring him in.
Why?
Because I'm the one least likely to die trying.
Huh.
She tell you to stay out of it.
Yep.
I have a point. They do it for me. 1945, maybe. I just want to make sure we consider all our options. The people that shoot at you usually wind up shooting at me.
Tips have been pouring in since that footage went public. Everybody thinks the Winter Soldier goes to their jet. Most of it's noise, except for this. My boss expects a briefing pretty much now, so that's all that started to get.
Thank you.
And you're gonna have to hurry. We have orders to shoot on sight.
She actually went against orders to help him, by the way. I'm coming. And he's learning the brainwash stuff. Apparently he's multilingual.
Speck und schwarzer Kaffee. Wieder. Ich kann Ihnen auch was anderes machen, wenn Sie das möchten. Ich stelle es aber her.
He doesn't want her to see the big bomb he's planning there. Plums! Bucharest, the capital city of Romania. You know, you look at a guy like this. How's a guy like this supposed to travel all the way from Romania to Vienna just to make do an assassination? You know? I think a better question would be, how did he get to Romania in the first place from Washington D.C.? But that's another story, I guess. Apparently he learned a lot about his old friend, Captain America. Bucky. Steve.
You're Steve. I read about you on your team.
Except the perimeter.
I know you're nervous. You have plenty of reason to be. But you're lying. I wasn't in Vienna. I don't do that anymore.
They're entering the building.
Well, the people who think you did are coming here now. They're not planning on taking you alive. That's smart. Good strategy.
They're on the roof. I'm compromised.
This doesn't have to end in a fight, Buck.
Yeah, there.
It always ends in a fight.
5 seconds.
You pulled me from the river. Why? I don't know.
30 seconds.
Yes, you do.
Freeze!
Hey! Boom! Shouldn't that have burned these things out, by the way? Nice! And again, some more incredibly awesome action.
Fuck, stop! I'm gonna kill somebody.
This is gonna try not to. Whee! Bluff! He's still shooting at the arm, not the ship. Spooked! Ouch. Brilliant editing, by the way. Whoa. Through the wall. Whoosh! Give me that! Oi, oi, oi! Shut up! Whee! Come on. They're trying to escape, and you know, Steve's trying to catch the people that Bucky's trying to throw over. Why? Whee! Ouch! Careful, that arm's gonna come off. Wouldn't it have been smarter to jump from the top floor? Whoom! And BAM! What a way to introduce this character. It's the first time you see Black Panther in action, and damn, what a scene to throw him in. Just to show what he's capable of. When I took my mom to see this movie later in the theater, she was like, "What? Where did this guy came from? What does he want?"
Who the hell's the other guy?
Let's find out.
Feats! fighting is awesome. Oh yeah, bullets don't work on a vibranium suit. Kaboof! Whee. Slam. By the way, most of this scene was shot on location, and it was practical. And boom! And surprise! It's a highway! Whoom! 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 From that awesome fight scene, it suddenly became a chase scene. On the highway, on foot! Kaboof! Hi, I'm Captain America. I'm hijacking your police car! Goodbye! Feet! That's a panther jumping. Oh no, you don't. Mr. Batman. Speaking of which, how did Black Panther even find Bucky? Yeet! Give me that! Whee! Flip! This movie never stops! That's what I love about this so much. You know, Cap is chasing Bucky, trying to stop him so he could talk to him. And, you know, Black Panther's just hitching a ride. Whee! Oh, no, you don't. Go away already! I'm coming for you! Got a panther on my back! Whee! Sweet! Whoosh! Get back here, you two! What an awesome chase scene. Mine, Bucky! Now they finally stopped. That's a lot of people with guns. Oh yeah, did I do that? Fine, I'll get on my... I'm clean! I'm clean! And surprise, surprise! Guess who it is?
Your Highness.
Do, do. And then they cut away to this scene! I mean, like I said, the balance! After a great fight scene and chase scene, all of that, you have this nice little subtle moment of, you know, Vision trying to make some food for Wanda. I love it!
In my defense, I haven't actually ever eaten anything before.
It's kind of like Data. And they also try to establish a little bit of romance, because in the comics, they're actually married with children. And seriously, don't ask me how that was possible. It's a very long story.
Are you?
I make the synthetics.
I used to think of myself one way, but after this,
Zoosh.
something else. I'm still me, I think.
Wow, she's just so pretty. I'm
You know I don't know what
so sorry. That's an Infinity Stone, Vision.
I know it's not of this world, but how Loki's staff gave you your abilities a bit. Its true nature is a mystery, and yet it is part of me.
Are you afraid of it?
I wish to understand it. The more I do
You probably wish you hadn't.
one day, who knows, I may even control it.
I wonder if Vision can exist without the Mind Stone.
It is not paprika.
Paprika.
I'm gonna go to the store. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Do they even have a store nearby?
Vision, are you not letting me leave?
Question of safety,
I can protect myself.
not yours. Mr. Stark would
I'm
like
pretty sure there's a bit of a 15-year age gap between these two guys, but I'm kind of cool with it, with this relationship. And I'm pretty sure it's not 15 either, but I know it's pretty big. Oh man, those eyes. I mean, I'm in love. Berlin! I think this one's actually bigger than some of the other title cards. How do they get from Bucharest to Berlin? D23! That it's a reference to the special convention that Disney has every 2 years, where they show off some of their stuff from, you know, their upcoming movies and TV shows and whatnot. No? Yes. Yes, Captain.
Black Panther has been the protector of Wakanda
For generations. Passed down, warrior to warrior.
Now, because your friend murdered my father, I also wear the mantle of king. So I ask you,
So, congratulations.
the king, how
How long do you think you can keep your friend safe from me? Damn! He just talked down to Captain America! What do you think, Timmy? I've been mostly silent this entire commentary. And I love that they also introduced Everett Ross in this movie.
What's gonna happen?
Man, I love his character. Very different from the comic books, but it's still okay.
Separate Ross and Task Force Commander.
The story thus far. Only comic book readers will understand that reference. Never mind.
I better not look out the window and see anybody flying around in that.
You'll be provided with an office instead of a cell. So do me a favor, stay in it.
I don't intend on going anywhere.
For the record, this is what Nikki Phase Force looks like.
He's alive.
Yeah.
The name was not important. And Colonel Rhodes is supervisor.
How much work anything won't fix this?
Consequences? You bet there'll be consequences. Obviously, you can quote me on that because I just said anything else. Consequences. Secretary Ross wants you both prosecuted. That's so. Not getting that shield back, am I?
Happy waits the goblins well. Weeks too.
It's cold. Won't put him in jail.
ITPD. No idea what that means. By the way, we saw that guy a bit earlier in the on the street, and now we know where he's going. Again, this movie wastes no time in its story. There isn't a single thing in the frame that isn't supposed to be there.
Hey, you see something cool? I pulled something from Dad's archives. Timely. That your son Lenley's build days in 1941. Provided support to the Allies when they needed it most. Some would say it brought our country closer to war.
True.
See if not for these you wouldn't be here. I'm trying to, what do you call it? That's it. An olive branch. Is that what you call it?
Oh.
We're kind of, well, not kind of, pregnant. No, definitely not.
Yeesh.
We're taking a break.
Oh.
It's somebody's fault.
We were on a break!
2 years ago, I almost lost her, so I trashed all my seats. And we had the Mako Hydra, and then Ultron. My fault. And then, I never stopped.
Hmm.
Because the truth is, I don't want to stop. I don't want to lose her. If I'm going to be a course, it's split the difference. You never had time on your phone. Your dad was a pain in the ass, but your mom always made it work.
You know, I'm glad Howard got married. I only knew him when he was young and single.
Oh, really? You two knew each other? You never mentioned that. Maybe only 1,000 times. God, I hated you.
I don't mean to make things difficult.
I know, because you're a very polite person.
If I see a situation pointed south, I can't ignore it. Sometimes I wish I could.
I know.
No, I don't.
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
You'll only break your fist.
I need you, Cap. It's over enough that's happened that can't be undone. Jesus. We've lived the last 24 hours legit. Barnes gets transferred to an American Psych Center instead of Wakanda prison.
Wonder what a Wakandan prison looks like. We didn't see that in Black Panther. Maybe in Black Panther 2, when we can actually see Wakabi again.
Once we put out the PR documents, be amended.
If they haven't executed him for treason yet.
Reinstated. Wanda, what about Wanda? She's fine. She's confined to the compound currently. Benjamin's keeping her company.
Tony, every time I think
Well,
you
it's
see
100
things the right
acres
way.
with a lap pool. It's got a screening room. There's worse ways to protect me.
Protection. Is that how you see this? This is protection?
Try restriction.
Tournament,
She's
Tony.
not a U.S. citizen, and they
Oh,
don't
come
grant
on,
visas to
Tony.
weapons of mass
She's
destruction.
a kid.
Give me a break!
I love the interaction between these two guys.
Save us something worse.
Keep telling me something. Hate to break up the set.
Hello, Mr. Bonds.
Mr. Bones.
Sent by the United Nations to evaluate you.
I love Martin Freeman. If you guys haven't watched him on Sherlock, you've got to do yourselves a favor and watch it right now. After this commentary, of course.
Here?
And it was actually a pretty good protagonist in the Hobbit films.
I didn't read it.
I like those better than most people. Do 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 do.
I'm not here to judge you. I just want to ask you a few questions. Do you know why you're after it? I can't help you if you don't know me. My name is Bucky.
That's all he knows about himself.
Hello? Hey, kann man eine große für dich?
Okay. Meanwhile,
How did the task force release this photo to begin with?
Get the word out and involve as many of us as we can.
It's a good way to flush a guy out of hiding. Set off a bomb, get your picture taken. You got 7 million people looking for the Winter Soldier.
You're saying someone framed him to find it.
Steve, we looked for the guy for 2 years and found nothing.
We bombed the UN. It turns a lot of heads.
But that doesn't guarantee that whoever framed him would get him. It guarantees that we would.
Now that you mentioned that, maybe someone wanted you to capture him.
You've seen a great deal, haven't you?
Again, I can't look at that D23 without laughing.
You feel that if you open your mouth,
D obviously stands for Disney, and 23, I believe it stands for the year that Walt Disney founded his company.
We only have to talk about one.
What? What is this? Zoom! There goes the power. And are you telling me they don't have a backup system?
Freddy, give me a source on that outage.
It's a level 5 east wing.
Interesting
What
necklace.
That's your home. Not Romania. Certainly not Brooklyn, no. I mean, your real home.
Hydra. Zemo's such a better character in the comics. He's one of Captain America's greatest enemies. You're only saying the right words. Hold on. Did you really think that thing can contain him? That's how brainwashers works. I'm not sure I said something that's real, but that's basically 1991, sorry. As I mentioned, that's how a brainwash works. Say a bunch of you force the person to believe a certain philosophy and convince him that that's the only thing that's real, and he'll do whatever you say. Boom! Zreek! And some more great fighting scenes, because there's so many of them in this movie. At least 5 major sequences. Yahoo! Come back! Wait, was that on the first or second floor? You get back here! Oh, no you ain't.
We're in position.
Whoa. Multi-weapon inside that thing. Yeesh. You could have killed him back right then and there. Yeah. Splat! She's still scissoring her legs around everybody's faces. From that mission that he shot her. And now it's a fight! Whee! Land. Now this is exactly when the bathroom break went on in the theater. First time I saw this, and I actually went to get another batch of popcorn and drinks, and there was a huge line that day, so I actually just lost a big chunk of the movie. No, it was It was right here, right there. That's when I missed out on a big chunk of the movie. So I missed this incredible scene of, you know, Steve hanging onto the helicopter for dear life, showing off his biceps. Oh no, you don't! I'm Captain America and I always get my man. Even when I drop a building on his face. Yay! Yeah! Look at my muscles! Damn, that's a man! Where can I get some of those super soldier serum things? Yee! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoo! Uh-oh. By the way, just in case you didn't notice, Bucky's currently wearing the red shirt that we saw him wearing in the Ant-Man post-credit scene. Ouch! You know, a really hard blow to the head will solve a lot of problems in the MCU. It cured Hawkeye's mind control. And this, by the way, is a callback to, Winter Soldier, when he pulled an unconscious Steve out of the river. And this scene is actually very important. I wish they had more, they played this scene more in this movie, because it shows you what Zemo is fighting for, and why he's doing what he's doing. He's going to Moscow, apparently. And this is a scene from Ant-Man, mostly. It was actually a lot in the trailers for this movie. Yeesh. They made sure it wouldn't move.
Which Bucky am I talking to? Your mom's name is Sarah.
Isn't it weird that he suddenly remembers Steve's mom, not, anything else about that?
Maybe that easy. Just like that, we're supposed to be cool. What did I do? No. Everything I could put inside me is still there. All you have to do is say the goddamn words. Who was he? I don't know. People are dead. The bombing, the setup, the doctor did all that just to get 10 minutes with you. I need you to do better than I don't know. He wanted to know about Siberia. Where I was kept. He wanted to know exactly where. Why would he need to know that? Because I'm not the only Winter Soldier.
BAM! 1991! Back to that again. And we see more of that first mission that he had at the beginning of the movie. By the way, this music is little bits and pieces from the Winter Soldier score from the first movie. And of course, they had to have security cameras there. And now, we get the explanation of what these things are. There's that soldier guy again. training. Ooh. Whoa! He actually managed to beat him. But he's kind of unstable. Did you just hit me? He hit him! Me. Get out of here. Whoa. This would have been a lot easier before the Accord. Who knows if the Accord's fundamental? Yep. Maybe not. I know a guy. Now we all know who he's talking about, right?
We will. GSG-9's got the borders covered. Recon's flying 24/7. They'll get a hit. We'll handle it.
don't get it, Stark. It's not yours to handle. It's clear you can't be objective. I'm putting special ops on this.
What happens when the shooting starts? When you kill Steve Rogers?
If we're provoked, Barnes would have been eliminated in Romania if it wasn't for Rogers. There are dead people who would be alive now. Feel free to check my map.
All due respect, you're not going to solve this with boys and bullets, Russ. You've got to let us prove it.
And how would that end any differently than last time?
Because this time, I won't be wearing loafers and a silk shirt. 72 hours. Guaranteed.
36 hours. Barnes.
I'm gonna need a week to do this. You've got 1 day. Done! Again, I love it when people do that.
That arm is numb. Is that normal?
Day and a half.
Oh, yeah. Be great to get home right about now.
You really think he'd be on our side?
She's got a point.
Me too. Where's yours?
Downstairs. Where's yours?
No, hey! Queens! I love this scene so much! And guess who lives in Queens? I can't believe this. I mean, right now I do, but back then it was a monumental thing to see this thing in a theater.
How's school today? Okay. This crazy car parked outside.
You think?
Oh, Mr. Parker.
By the way, these guys were in a movie together when they were married. Marissa Tomei and Robert Downey Jr.
I'm Peter.
Peter Parker!
What are you doing?
He's wearing a pizza shirt.
You get my emails, right?
What? I mean, you look at this guy. This is Peter Parker.
Remember when you applied?
This guy is Peter Parker. Tom Holland is perfect in this role. He's such an awesome Spider-Man. I love him. Easily the best that's ever been.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
This walnut bay loaf is exceptional.
Just stop you there. Scrat, like got money involved or whatever?
Something a little different than money.
Wow, look who you're talking to.
Now, funny thing is, I'm not sure it's the same movie from the Spider-Man Homecoming.
Big loaves go. That wasn't bad.
Retro Tech.
Huh? Thrift store? Salvation Army?
The garbage act.
You're a dumpster diver.
Yeah, I was. Anyway, look.
What?
I definitely did not apply for your grant.
Me first.
I love the relationship between these two guys. Kind of like It's kind of like he's the son that Tony Stark never had or wanted.
Look at you go. Wow, nice catch. 3,000 pounds, 40 miles an hour. It's not easy. Got mad skills.
That's all on YouTube, though, right? I mean, that's where you found it. You know that's all fake. It's all done on the computer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that video.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like those UFOs over Phoenix?
Yeah, because Tony Stark knows where a kid would hide these things.
So, you're the spider lady. Crime-fighting spider. You're Spider-Boy?
No. Spider-Man. Yes! I love that Spider-Man and Iron Man are in the same movie together. And there's a Captain America movie, for goodness sake.
Flair was just sitting there and algebra test. Nailed it.
Who else knows? Anybody?
Nobody.
Not even your unusually attractive man?
No. If she knew, she'd freak out. And when she freaks out, I freak out.
You know what I think is really cool? This webbing.
The webs that he made himself. It's not organic webs, you morons! Spider-Man doesn't have webs coming out of his fingers.
Gloves.
Stupid idea.
Lordy, can you even see in these?
Yes. I can see in those, okay? It's just that when whatever happened, it's like my senses have been dialed to 11. There's way too much.
The spider bite thing. And, I mean, they completely skipped the origin of the character. You don't need to know how Spider-Man got bit and how Uncle Ben died, because everybody knows that. You just need to know that this is Spider-Man and that's Aunt May. That's it. And that's what this movie does so good. I mean, it's a Captain America movie with all the Avengers, minus Thor and Hulk, and it actually introduces Black Panther and Spider-Man perfectly. It's such a great movie, and damn, I love it. And look at this kid. I mean, damn, that's such a great acting performance from this guy. And the fact that he's playing Spider-Man of all characters, I mean, I'm speechless.
Yeah, just looking out.
The little spider guy. Oh, it's hot in here all of a sudden. Yeesh.
I'm gonna sit here so you move the leg.
Clearly he's not used to talking to children. Yes.
Ever been to Germany?
No.
Oh, you love it.
I can't go to Germany.
Why?
So... Superheroes don't have homeworks! Splecht! Ah, the web shooters!
Oh, that's Spider-Man.
And he said Spider-Man! Robert Downey Jr. said the word Spider-Man! I was even more shocked than I am right now when I heard it in the theater. Don't mind me, I'm just casually floating.
What is it?
Stay here.
Zoosh.
Guess I should have knocked.
What are you doing here?
Disappointing my kids. This is the water's game. Dad needs our help. Come on.
Clint. Hey, Vision, what's up?
Really? I retire for what, like 5 minutes and it all goes to shit?
Please consider the consequences of your actions.
Okay, I'm considering. Okay, we gotta go.
Now, clearly Vision is the strongest guy, right? Now, how exactly is Hawkeye gonna beat him?
Problems.
Gotta help me, Wanda. Look, you wanna know? You can go to high school. You wanna make amends? You get off your ass.
Oh shit. Come on, that's not fair!
I knew I should have stretched.
Come on, Vision! Ouch. Ouch.
Clint, you can't overpower me.
I know I can't.
Cheeky. What?
That's enough. Let him go. I'm leaving.
I can't let you.
Now, who could possibly beat the Vision? Whoopsie! Now, as soon as you saw something like that, you're like, oh, yeah, definitely Captain America's team is gonna win.
Stop being afraid of me.
I can't control their fear. Only I own it.
And Sploog! She buries him in the friend hole. He's gonna be mad. It's San Francisco. Oh, and I love that they really don't show you when they recruited Ant-Man. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Move, or he will be moved.
As entertaining as that would be.
You really think you can fire?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Florence Kasumba, who plays Io, and she came back and reprised her role in Black Panther. Just saying. This movie introduces so many new characters from Black Panther alone, like Everett K. Ross, Io. It's so many movies in one, yet it's still very definitively a Captain America movie. Oh, there's so much to talk about this movie. I can't even begin. Oh, I love this movie so much. I've been waiting a whole movie to do this, so... Yum, 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 yum. Yeesh.
Wait.
I just kissed Captain America! Again, breaking more rules for this guy. They stole a bug. Hey, Ben.
No, I wouldn't qualify it under the choice. Hey, man, you're doing me a favor. Besides, how are you? Thanks for having me back.
It was time to get off my ass.
How about our other recruit? He's ready to go.
And this is the part where I finally walked back into the theater after buying my popcorn. So yeah, I've missed all that stuff. Everything that came before this moment. Fortunately, I went back and watched this movie 2 times in the theater again. What's up, Tic Tac?
Good to see you. Look, what happened last time? It was a great audition, but it'll
Yeah.
never happen again. It's like what we're up against.
When I took my mom to see this movie, she was like, "What? Ant-Man? What is he doing in this film?"
We're outside the lawns. So to come with us for a wanted man. And
What else is new?
we should get moving. Got a chopper lined up. They're evacuating the airport. So,
Because they know what's going to happen.
suit up.
The greatest action sequence in movie history is about to come up. 17 minutes of pure awesomeness. Bzzz. Whee! I think that's the Mark 45 again. I don't think he created a new suit.
Wow, it's so weird how you run into people at the airport. Don't you think that's weird?
Definitely weird.
Hear me out, Tony. Head doctor, the psychiatrist. He's behind all of this.
Whee! Hello again, Captain.
Anyway, Ross gave me 36 hours to bring in. That was 24 hours ago. Can you help me, brother, out?
You're after the wrong guy.
Your judgment is a scheme. Your old war buddy killed innocent people yesterday.
And there are 5 more super soldiers just like him. You can't let the doctor find him first, Tony. I can't.
Steve,
Yeah, where did you came from?
what's about to happen? Do you really want to punch your way out of this one?
Alright, I ran out of patience.
On the roof! Whoa! And it's Spider-Man! And he's holding the shield! I love the way Spider-Man looks in this film! Finally, you got a costume that looks like the comic books!
Hey, everyone.
Good job.
I never saw the other Spider-Man actors as Spider-Man, because they were not Spider-Man. Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
Return to Adventures Park. Did that when you said.
You have done that yourself.
You're gonna turn Barnes or you're gonna come with us. Now, because it's us. We're a squad of JSOC guys with no compunction about being impolite. We found it.
And we're...
Jensen, Hangar 5, North Runway.
They have a Quinjet there. Oh, guess they used the one that Natasha came in with.
What the hell is that?
This is your shield, Captain America!
Parking deck, one of them's Max Mop. I'm gonna grab her. From you want to see Cap?
That's on the terminal, Wilson and Barnes.
Barnes is mine! Oh,
What should I do? What we discussed, keep your distance, web them up. Okay, copy that.
split! Whee! Move, Captain. I won't ask a second time. And...
Look, I really don't want to hurt you.
I wouldn't stress about it.
Oh! No, just seriously, watch this scene. Look at how the Russo brothers found an incredible way to show off every single character in their power sets. They're all getting their dues. It's amazing. Do you have any idea how hard it is to direct a scene like this? You have the right to remain silent! Whee! Boom, 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 boom. Sweet!
Sorry, Cap, this won't kill you, but it ain't gonna tickle either.
They really promoted this weapon a lot, and it doesn't do nothing in the movie.
I think you hurt Vision's feelings.
You locked me in my room.
Okay, first, that's an exaggeration. Second, I did it to protect you. Hey,
Really?
Hey, man.
clearly retirement doesn't suit you. Got tired of shooting golf.
Well, I played 18. Shot 18. Just can't seem to miss.
His name is Hawkeye.
Not for everything.
Made you look.
Boom!
Multiple contusions detected.
Yeah, I detected that too. The way they cut between the different sections of the fight, it's amazing! Spider Sense! That was the Spider Sense! A lot of people complained that they didn't see any Spider Sense in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. Well, there's your Spider Sense now! Spruce, spruce!
Those wings carbon fiber?
Stuff coming out of you?
I was doing the rigidity flexibility ratio, which, gotta say, that's awesome.
I don't know if you've been in a...
And I love the way he's just taking the time to talk to people during the fight.
Guys, look, I'd love to keep this up, but I've only got one job here today.
Because it's Spider-Man, he's new to this kind of stuff. He's never fought superpowered villains before. Or anyone.
Couldn't have done that earlier.
I hate you.
I hate you.
Bam! You can't just casually taking them out one by one, because, yeah, they're nothing. Oh, this!
Throw it at this. Now!
Whee!
Oh, come on! Oh, man. That was a water truck.
Seriously? Oh, now you're pissed.
Well, my plan was go easy on him. You want to switch it up?
So they brought the big gun.
Right. Come on!
Bzzz. Captain Rogers.
I know you believe what you're doing.
I saw this scene on YouTube with a friend. When Vision showed up, he was like, "Is that Superman? What? That how? What? Whee! So many heroes in the same scene, and it's perfect balance. That's why I have every ounce of faith that the Russo brothers can do the same thing again with Infinity War. They fight. Watch this.
They're not stopping.
Neither are we.
And splash page. Look at. Wee. You know, the Russo brothers were interviewed and they said they wanted this scene to feel exactly like a comic book splash page. And in comic book terms, it's basically when a certain moment or event is literally plastered all over 2 pages at the same time, as opposed to separate panels on each page. I'd say they did a wonderful job with that. I wonder if they have any of those in Infinity War. Why did you run? Swish! Whoa! Ho, ho! One is just, clearing the field.
That thing is not obey the laws of physics at all.
There's a lot going on here that you don't understand.
Stark Station say that.
You can't have this shield. Kick!
He also said to go for your legs.
Hey kid, I'm Captain America. Stay down. You're grounded.
You get him off me. Buckled in? Yeah. No, I'm good.
And this!
Let's go.
I mean, there's an iconic Avengers cover page with Ant-Man literally standing on Hawkeye's arrow. Whee! And he recreated that. Spong!
Stark tell you anything else?
You go wrong, you think you're right, makes you dangerous.
Kick!
Guess you got a point.
Whoosh! Go!
You got hard, kid. Where you from?
Queens?
Brooklyn. New Yorkers.
We have some weapon systems offline.
Hey, what?
Oh, you're gonna have to take this into the shop.
Who's speaking?
It's your conscience. You don't talk a lot.
Again, they managed to infuse so much humor in the midst of all this chaos that's happening around them.
We gotta go. That guy's probably in Siberia by now. We gotta draw the flanks. I'll take Vision, you get the jet. No, you get to the jet. Both of you. The rest of us aren't getting out of here. As much as I hate to admit it, we're gonna win this one. Some of us might have to lose it. This isn't the real fight, Steve.
Yep. The real fight is getting to Siberia.
Something big.
When I heard him say that, I just went crazy. I was like, oh yeah, it's coming! It's coming! It's coming! On the bus! On the bus! The bus! Okay, here it goes! BAM!
Okay, Tiny Dude is big now.
He's big now. Giant Man lives! I never saw this coming. I saw the toy. I saw the Lego sets. They all had Ant-Man appearing as Giant Man in the movie. But I was like, nah, it's too much. They're never gonna put this in a movie. And bam! Look at this! It's Giant Man! Oh, I'm probably getting a little too excited, but what can I say? That's just who I am. Have a piece of plane.
Anybody on our side hiding facilities they'd like to disclose unopened?
Hey, you're outnumbered. Boom! If anyone thought that,
Wanna get to them?
Iron Man had the clearly superior team on his side, was wrong. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder if he's actually feeling any of those. Oh no, technically they're not even touching him, they're just anti-aircraft gun. Oh! Swoosh, swoosh. Man, that guy can jump.
We haven't met yet.
I'm Clint. I don't care. Sonic weapons. Oh yeah, foot. And have some of those and some of these. He's just spider crawling all over his helmet. Ugh. Oh, and this. Sweet. Something just flew in me. Buzz. Where have you been this whole fight? Go! Yeesh! Hi.
Not gonna stop.
You know.
Whee. I love this. The Empire Strikes Back?
He's on the young side.
On the young side. Tying his legs together.
Maybe the kids are on the side. High now, Tony, go high.
And a punch! That was awesome! Black! You know, I was so distracted, I completely ignored the fact that the Spider-Man costume looked completely fake. Didn't have any orange slices. Now, he was wearing a practical suit, but it wasn't this. It had a CGI touch to it. This scene, this is where the suit looks real for the first time. Of course, he was wearing a real suit in the Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh, look at that! I got a message. Now, notice that he clearly didn't have a black eye in this scene, and for some reason he had one in the post-credit scene. Just thought I'd mention that. Well, I guess vibranium claws can't stick to rubber.
Said I'd help you find him, not catch him. There's a difference.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. It's as I said. Catastrophe.
Speeding up. Must go faster.
Listen, I got a bandit on my 6.
Shoosh. Boom, 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 boom.
Listen, copy. Target his thruster. Turn him into a glider.
Buzz. Whee! Hey. Whoa. I think there's actually a moment in the comics where Rhodey was in the suit and he did fell an incredibly high from an incredibly high place into water, which made him be afraid of going back into the suit for a while. Boom! I know a lot of people are saying that he should be dead, but I don't know. There could be a million reasons why he survived. Shut up! Just shows you how much he cares for his friend and how much he hates this guy right now. A lot of people before this movie came out was saying that Rhodey was gonna die, or maybe Tony, or whatever. I still don't understand why he called her to check up on her. Hello there. And again, I want one of those every day. By the way, this guy is Joe Russo, the director of the movie, who also cameoed as Nick Fury's doctor in the previous one. I wonder if he'll cameo in Infinity War. I'll know tomorrow.
Whatever it is, I'll deal with it. I don't know if I'm worth all this to you. But you did all those years. It wasn't you. You didn't have a choice. I know. But I did it.
Oh yeah, an MRI. I had one of those.
I became distracted.
From Wanda. As he said in the comics once, even an android can cry. That's the thing about the Vision, he's more human than not. Even though he's a synthezoid.
The doctors say he shattered up for S1. Extreme laceration of the spinal cord. Probably looking at some form of paralysis.
Steve's not going to stop. If you don't either, Rhodey's going to be the best case scenario.
I got that gun, man.
We played this.
Why must it be hard to shake the double agent thing? It sticks in the DNA.
Are you incapable of letting go of your ego for one goddamn second?
T'Challa told Ross what you did, so you're coming for me.
Let him
I'm
look.
not the one that needs to watch their back.
Yeah, and are you forgetting she used to be a spy? She knows how to disappear, dumbass. There he is, Joe Russo.
Priority upload from Berlin police.
So, from a certain point of view, you could say that Zemo just killed the director of the movie.
The UN dispatched Dr. Theo Broussard from Geneva within
There he is,
He was met by
with the mustache, apparently. Yeah, Pepper.
Doctor is actually Colonel Helmut Zemo.
They kept his name, Helmut Zemo. That's the second Baron Zemo in the comics. The son of the original Zemo. I forget his name right now.
He was found dead in a burning hotel room. Where police also found a
That mustache does not look good on him. Believe me, I've seen him in interviews.
James Buchanan Barnes.
Now he's starting to work out all the details himself. No title card? Interesting. No outrageously large name for whatever it is they're standing in. Then again, if you've watched the movie and you paid attention, you should know where they are. That is not how you whack ice, that. December 16, 1990. There they are. Still frozen, apparently. It's a good method of, keeping your assassins alive for so many years. Whoa! That guy looked like Henry Cavill! So, was Superman in this movie as well?
This is ground prison control. You're clear for landing. Start.
By the way, the Raft was actually introduced in the Alias comics, which is the comic book that Jessica Jones was featured in. So technically you could say that... No, I forgot I said that. And in season 2 of Jessica Jones, they referenced the Raft a lot. Which is funny because the movie version of the Raft was introduced in Captain America. And never mind. Sometimes I just go off on a tangent and forget what I was saying. Oh boy. I mean, it really hurts to see her like this. Then again, she has been in a situation similar to that in the comics as well. Did they actually make an entire wing just for the Avengers? Ish.
The futurist is here. He sees all. He knows what's best for you, whether you like it or not.
Hawkeye's got a point.
I had no idea they put you here.
Yeah, well, you need to put it somewhere, Tony. Yeah, but not some Supermax floating ocean pokey. You know, it's a place for maniacs. It's a place for criminals. Criminals.
That's what we were about to say.
I think that's the word you're looking for. Right? And it needs to mean me. We're saying one. Here we are.
But it was kind of Scott.
I didn't make it. You read it, you broke it. Alright? You're all grown up, you got a wife.
Technically, you didn't sign the accord.
I don't understand. Why didn't you think about them before you chose the wrong side?
Don't you dare talk about my children.
Watch back, this guy. Chance he's gonna break it. Em always said you never can trust a Stark.
Who are you? I love that.
I just the guy who needs to know where Steve went.
But you better go be a bad cop. Because you won't have to go Mark Furman on my ass to get information out of me.
Okay, fine.
Well, I just knocked the A out of their AB. We got about 30 seconds before they realize it's not their equipment.
What'd you do? Get it back up.
Just look. Because that is the fellow who's supposed to interrogate Barnes. Clearly, I made a mistake. Sam, I was wrong. That's first.
Well, he said that.
Cap is definitely off the reservation. He's got to need all the help he can get. We don't know each other very well. You don't have to. All right.
Well,
I'm telling you that you have to go alone and as a friend.
done.
Easy.
And he actually trusts him.
Did he give you anything on Roger? Doc told me to go to hell and go back to the compound instead, but you can call me anytime. I'll put you on hold. I'd like to watch the line blink.
Eh. I love this. With a simple push of a button. Boom! Guess what, Mr. Stark? You have a visitor. A Wakandan visitor.
Remember that time we had to ride back from Rockaway Beach back in that freezer truck? Was that the time you used our train money to buy hot dogs? $3 trying to win that stuffed bear for a redhead. What was her name again? Dolores. You called her Doc. She's got you.
Now, a lot of people think that that was a reference to Dottie from the Agent Carter TV show. I strongly disagree, because her name was not Dolores. It was Dorothy. And she was not red-headed, if I remember. She was blonde. The guy with the gun and the guy with the shield. That's a perfect pairing, by the way. You probably should have shot him by now.
You seem a little defensive.
Well,
It's been a long day.
you still got that scratch on your shield. Because, you know, vibranium cloth can scratch a vibranium shield.
Ross has no idea I'm here. I'd like to keep it that way.
Which Ross?
Otherwise, I gotta wrestle myself.
The big one or the small one?
Well, that sounds like a lot of people.
And they're still kind of good friends, after all.
Manchurian candidate?
Manchurian candidate. Barnes. Barnes and Noble.
How many? One.
And they're dead. love that they decided to keep the focus of the final act on, you know, these guys fighting each other and not fighting those other guys, because that would have been a whole different movie.
Did you really think that wasn't more of you?
At least it made you think that they were after
They brought you here.
them.
Please, Captain. The Soviets built this chamber to withstand the launch blast of UR-100 rockets.
I bet I can beat that.
Oh, I'm sure you could, Mr. Stark. Given time.
Východ.
Then you'd never know where you came.
No idea what that means.
Just to bring us here.
What?
I've thought about nothing else for over a year. Studied you. I followed you. But now that you're standing here, I've just realized there's a bit of green in the blue of your eyes.
Disturbing.
How nice to find a flaw.
In the perfect man.
Sokovia. Is that what this is about?
Sokovia was a failed state long before you blew it to hell. No.
True.
I'm here because I made a promise.
You lost.
I lost everyone. And so will you.
December 16, 1991.
An empire toppled by its enemies can rise again. But one which crumbles from within,
Wow.
that's dead. Forever.
Watch it. It's about to get very familiar.
This?
Boom. Mind blown! And he recognized him from the war. Boom! 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 Gotta make sure it looks like he hit his head on the wheel. Because you gotta make the death looks legit, so no one's gonna suspect you. You gotta make sure it looks like she was suffocated to death. And you gotta show your face to the camera for future reference. You did see the news reports on Arnim Zola's computer, so he knew. He just didn't put it together until now. Boom! Yeah, I'm gone. Now, again, a lot of people think that Zima was a completely useless villain, and, you know, that this thing would have happened with or without him, but I strongly disagree. I mean, it would have happened eventually, but he only accelerated it. And I mean, a lot of villains in the comics go up against the Avengers. Well, in this movie, Zemo was actually a guy who actually managed to pull the Avengers apart. And he disbanded the Avengers. completely. I mean, they're calling it Avengers Infinity War because all of them just decided to re-team. But for all intents and purposes, the Avengers are gone. Ish. That! Stay there. Whoosh! Oh, no, you don't. Bullseye! Ah! Bong! So, right now, he's not fighting to bring him in. He's out for blood. I mean, he wants to kill him. Just like T'Challa wanted to kill him as well. I don't care. He killed my mom. And you can't argue with that! They always say that the best villains are the ones who think they're right. Well, it's... First of all, it's Iron Man, so you know everything you need to know about him. And second, like he said, he killed his parents! He wants revenge! And plus he knows that, you know, Bucky's a way too dangerous dude to be kept alive. You know, technically that's not gonna kill him. And there he goes. Another guy loses a hand. Boom! And man, that's exactly the cover of Civil War #6. Look it up, seriously. It's exactly like the comic book cover. I love Chadwick Boseman in this role. And now we know what was the deal of that message thing and what his whole driving force was.
My father lived outside the city. I thought we would be safe there.
So you
My
thought.
son was excited. He could see the Iron Man from the car window. I told my wife, don't worry. They're fighting in the city. We're miles from harm. And the dust cleared. And the screaming stopped. It took me 2 days until I found that body.
So what were you doing, Ethan?
Father, still holding my wife and son in his arms. And the Avengers, they went home. I knew I couldn't kill them. More powerful men than me have tried.
And failed.
But if I could get them to kill each other, I'm sorry about it, Father.
Yeah, it shows you the harsh realities of being a superhero. You make more enemies than you make friends.
The beautiful son.
Vengeance has consumed you.
Someone has to put a stop to it.
Don't let it consume me.
Swoosh.
Justice will come soon enough.
Tell that to the dead.
Oh no, you don't. Vibranium gloves, man. Great line. Boom. Fuck. Didn't you say that the targeting system was broken a second ago?
Let's kick his ass.
Ouch.
He's my friend.
So was I. That line does not work if you don't know the history between these two guys. Everything in this movie is just super legit. I can do this all day. We're gonna call back to what he said twice in this first movie. Smash! A lot of people try to convince me that Iron Man was gonna die in this movie. I did not believe them. And guess what? I was right. Mine. Stay down. Final warning. Technically, he can't really move much with his arc reactor broken. That's his power source. That's why Bucky went after it so badly.
That shield doesn't belong to you.
Should be able to move his suit by now.
You don't deserve it. My father made that shield.
Fine. Cry, baby. Take it. I'm still keeping mine. I mean, don't think for a second that I'm giving this one up.
Meals at 8 and 5. Toilet privileges twice a day. Raise your voice. Zap. Touch the glass. Zap. You step out of line, you deal with me. Please.
Please step out of line. I love him.
Spend all my time, all that effort. Then you'll see me fail. So spectacular.
And he's a great comeback. He's right. The Avengers came apart. All because of him. Mostly because of him.
This is the first pass. Yeah, here's the feedback. Anything you think of shock absorption. Lateral movement. Cup holder? You may want to think about some AC down.
And he's gonna work on it. He's gonna walk like a charm in the next movie, which also happens to be Infinity War. It's the same thing that happened with Felicity on Arrow. She was shot in the spine, crippled, and they found some magic gizmo to... Well, I say magic, it was actually a scientific chip thing. And now she's walking again. Big surprise. Was it?
And yeah, this sucks. This is,
I still think it wasn't.
But it hasn't changed my mind.
Well, to each his own. And I love this. Are you Tony Stank? This is Tony Stank!
Table for one,
Mr. Stank. Stanley is awesome. And he referenced this event in Guardians of the Galaxy. Just saying. Did he just say mansion? Can't believe I missed that. Obviously a reference to the Avengers Mansion. That's what it was before. In the comics, that's what it was before they decided to change it to Avengers Tower. Because it was always Avengers Mansion and Stark Tower. And the movies kind of brought them together. Sort of.
Which is why I can't let that down either. Locks can be replaced, but maybe they shouldn't. I know I hurt you, Tony. I guess I thought by not telling you about your parents, I was sparing you, but I can see now that I was really sparing myself. And I'm sorry. Hopefully one day you can understand.
When Thanos shows up.
I know you're doing what you believe in, and that's all any of us can do. That's all any of us should.
Priority call from Secretary Ross. There's been a breach at the Raft prison.
Oopsie.
Yeah, me too.
Tony, we have a problem.
Sweet song.
No.
Just like he said he'd do.
I promise you. If you need us. If you need me.
I'm just a phone call away. And you've seen that phone in some of the Infinity War trailers.
I'll be there.
Damn! I love this movie so much! Look at that. And I also love the shadow stuff. Based on the Marvel comics by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Yes! Because, yeah, by the way, Stan Lee didn't create Captain America. But he did wrote a lot of issues for that character. Henry Jackman. It's not a bad score. Just, you know, not the best. Chris Evans. Robert Downey Jr. Scarlett Johansson. Sebastian Stan. Anthony Mackie. Don Cheadle. Jeremy Renner. Chadwick Boseman. Paul Bettany. Elizabeth Olsen. Paul Rudd. Emily Van Camp. Marissa Tomei. Tom Holland. Frank Grillo. Martin Freeman. With William Hurt. And Daniel Bruhl. Marvel Studios presents Captain America Civil War. And now we're in Wakanda. I wonder where Shuri is at this moment. Because I think she wasn't even cast yet.
I can't trust my own mind.
And as we've seen in the Black Panther movie, he gets better eventually. Yeah, Wakandan scientists can practically do everything. Freeze! Yeah, I'm gonna grow a beard right now. Just cause.
Your friend and my father, they were both victims. If I can help one of them find peace.
You know, if they find out he's here.
Eventually, it's gonna help them both find peace. Let them try. Now, I thought the Black Panther movie was gonna be about the government trying to get Bucky out of Wakanda. Clearly, I was wrong. Wakanda, ladies and gentlemen! Da da da! Da da da! Da da da! Da. Wow! What an experience seeing this movie over and over again. I mean, just... Da, 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 da. Oh, by the way, I'm still waiting for the second post-credit scene. You can wait with me, you can choose not to. I'm just letting a bunch of stuff go through my mind. You've got about 7 minutes left. I'm gonna let go of the shield for a bit. What time is it? Whoa, I need to go to sleep. Got a big day tomorrow. I'm seeing Avengers Infinity War tomorrow, just in case any of you care. Brazil? When have they had time to go to Brazil? Now, I think I remember the numbering of this movie, and it's number 50,300 or something. We'll know in a few minutes, of course, but I just thought Oh yeah. When you hear that music, you know it's going back to Queens, right? And you know what this scene is leading to. Now, when I went to see this in the theater for the first time, I walked in, and I thought I was in the wrong, hall, because I went in and saw something big and red, and that was the end of it. And I was like, wait, was that the movie? And a bunch of guys walked out and said, oh no, that was the end of the movie. That was the post-credit scene. So I knew there was going to be something red at the end of this movie. Now I wonder what that could be. Speaking of Spider-Man, spoilers. Speaking of Spider-Man, I heard when this movie came out, everyone was sure that Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man Peter Parker ever. And I've heard some people trying to detract from that, saying, look, guys, he was in 2 scenes. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? So I was like, yeah, okay. It was in 2 scenes. But it was the 2 scenes that you needed to see to sell you on this guy being Spider-Man. You saw a scene of him as Peter Parker, and another scene of him as Spider-Man. Boom! Perfect. You don't need any more or any less than that. Not a lot of songs in this movie. Here it comes. Number 50,300. Yeah, I was right. Clearly, it's a new thing. Didn't have that when Tony Stark showed up. Now, since I missed this scene at first, it was literally the first time I saw Aunt May and Peter. She's very different from the Aunt May from the comics. I mean, if the Aunt May from the comics heard that Peter was in a fight, she was like, "Oh no, what happened? Are you okay?" So I kind of like this new hot Aunt May. And I mean, look at this. The spider signal! That's the first time this thing has made its way to the movies. And BAM! Spider-Man will return! Yeah! That's all you needed right now. Oh, yeah. So, thank you guys for, watching this crazy idiot, lose his shit over, a bunch of guys in costumes hitting each other. And, I'll see you guys on my, next commentary. Hold on. No, there it is. Catch you guys later.